Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our today's exclusive webinar on the UAE property investment opportunity. My name is Mina, and I'm delighted to have you all join us for the insightful session. The UAE has been recognized as a global hub for real estate investment, offering the unparalleled opportunity for both investors and homeowners. Whatever you are looking for a villa or apartments, the UAE market has something to suit every need and aspiration. Du- During today's webinar, we will cover some key topics to maximize your investment returns. First of all, we will have a market update and focus by Lian from our Benham Reeves UAE team. Secondly, we will have the property hotspots in UAE, which is Abu Dhabi by Paco from Aldar. Lastly, but not the least, we will have the financial advisory consideration by Becca from SPF. And we will also have a live Q&A session at the end where you can interact directly with our experts and get your questions answered in real time. And also, to ensure you have the best possible experience, we are proud to introduce our dedicated Dubai-based team. Our team is on the ground and ready to assist you for the property viewing and provide personalized support throughout your investment journey. Wherever you are in Dubai or joining us from abroad, our team is here to make your property search seamless and stress-free. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Thank you very much today again, and I would like to introduce you, Lian, from our UAE team.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Mina. Hi, everyone. I'm Leanne, and I head up our Dubai office. I'm going to run you through some key points on why to invest in the UAE. So I'm going to start off with why the performance of sales in the UAE has been phenomenal. It's been driven by three key reasons, and the first one being the country's rapid GDP reached 981 billion in the first half of 2024, and it's still expected to grow by 4% in 2025. And in terms of property investment, we're looking at better performing average rental yields of 7% with minimal running costs and tax costs. And a third and final point is the key point that everybody's talking about at the moment, and it's the UAE Golden Visa and the friendly criteria to get the UAE Golden Visa and the investor visa as well. The government understands that to compete with other major cities in the world, they can't just solely rely on oil. And hence, they've got great emphasis on other foreign trades as well. They hit a remarkable milestone of earnings in 2024. There are a lot of growth and investments in the Middle East, and the UAE is at the forefront of being the fastest growing and GDP contributor in the GCC. And there is no sign of this slowing down either. As such, there are plenty of employment and business opportunities, therefore attracting many talents worldwide that are also relocating to the UAE. The population here as well, it's so international. And the latest report of the UAE has been ranked at the third safest country in 2024, which has been a huge milestone for the UAE. It's also a plus point that the UAE is a tax-free haven. It's very attractive from an individual perspective and also from a business perspective as well. There's a lot of companies that are now relocating to the UAE for that same reason. In 2024, we saw Brits and Americans overtaking other nationalities by being the biggest movers and property buyers in the UAE. When countries participate in international trade, they need to ensure the value of their currency remains stable. And in the Middle East, many countries, including Jordan, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and of course, the UAE, is all pegged to the US dollar for stability. The oil-rich nations need the US as a major trading partner for oil. And essentially, you're investing in a US commodity. There are plenty of options to look at in the UAE. There are 7 Emirates in the UAE, Dubai being the most popular and well known. But today we are going to share more insights on the capital city, which is Abu Dhabi. As a city, it earned top scores for safety and healthcare, remains the world's safest city and most livable in the Middle East. Abu Dhabi is where the world's sixth largest oil reserve is located, and it's home to many oil and gas companies as well. The government has great ambitions to make Abu Dhabi the top 5 global financial hub by 2030 and have great plans in expanding Al Reem Island, which Paco will go into more depth on some of the islands in Abu Dhabi further on into the seminar. Diversification into other sectors is a major commitment. And in 2023, the GDP of Abu Dhabi hit a 10-year high at 1.14 trillion, with construction and manufacturing being the biggest GDP contributor in the non-oil sector. The government knows that to make the city truly international, they need to grant access to property ownership, which means welcoming foreigners to own freehold properties for investment or for their own use as well. Abu Dhabi attracted 3.28 billion in foreign real estate investment for the first half of 2024. So it just shows that there is numerous growth that's happening in Abu Dhabi, which is an exceptional 225% increase compared to the first half in 2023. And that just goes to show the growth that's happening in the UAE, and especially Abu Dhabi as well. They want to be a world-class education provider with many reputable universities setting up campuses in the city. Investment infrastructure. This is a big one that has been a big talking point. The Etihad Rail just confirmed plans to build the high speed between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The high-speed rail will reshape the UAE by transforming public transport and to boom the economy as well. The first phase is going to pass through Abu Dhabi and connecting all of the airports and then up to Dubai Creek, where at the moment, connecting Dubai and Abu Dhabi, you're looking over an hour to connect the two Emirates, where it's going to reduce that time and, of course, reduce the traffic going from Dubai to Abu Dhabi as well. There is also Sadia Island. They have spent billions of dollars to build heritage landmarks, and they have 6 museums there already. And also, that's where all the main universities are as well. And then there's also one of my favourite islands, which is Yas Island. This is the entertainment district. If you are a fan of fun, entertainment, sports, this is where it all happens in Abu Dhabi. And this is the closest location to Dubai. So you can get from Yas Island to Dubai in probably around 45 minutes. So it's very, very well located as well. And coming on to property, the reason why we feel like there is potential simply by looking at the supply level. With all of these factors to consider boosting the economy, creating job opportunities, increasing population, the demand will just always be there. And when the demand is higher than the supply coming to the market, we can always expect price growth in terms of capital appreciation and improved rental yields as well. And another point to note is the price per square metre in comparison to some of the other major cities like Hong Kong, Singapore, and some US cities as well. Abu Dhabi is still ranked 79th in terms of affordable pricing as compared to Dubai, which is 60th place. And there's still plenty of opportunity for the price to soar, given the big plans that the government has got in the next 5 years alone. They're expecting the UAE to be one of the biggest major cities. So it just goes to show that there is still a lot of price per square metre growth to come as well. So yeah, that leads me to pass you on to Paco. Paco is the sales manager of Aldar, one of the biggest developers in Abu Dhabi, and he's going to talk you through some of the best investment opportunities in Abu Dhabi.
All right, thank you very much. So I clicked the video button. It should open very soon. But anyway, so thank you guys for yeah, my camera show up now. So let me introduce myself. My name is Paco. I'm the sales manager from Aldar, and also I'm from Hong Kong originally, and now I'm based in the UAE. So also let me share some of my kind of my experience in the UAE, especially in investment. I actually invested back in 2017 in Dubai. So I kind of like, seen everything in Dubai. And then because at that time, there's no reason why not to buy. Because if you look at the UAE markets, first of all, you are buying a US dollar assets and then with no tax. Other than the first registration fee, which is Dubai 4%, in Abu Dhabi is 2%. Other than that, you have no tax. So it's like tax-free haven, no property tax, no capital appreciation tax, no heritage tax. The rental income has no tax. So, US dollar assets, no tax. This already kind of beats most of the markets existing in the world at the moment. And then now we're talking about Abu Dhabi as, the safest city in the world for 8 consecutive years. And also, we are also investing in a very fast growing economy where it's very diversified, where even though like, oil was, how it started, but now the oil GDP is only made up of maybe less than half, less than 50%. So it's very diversified economy. It goes into like, finance, into banking, into trading, into tourism, in real estate. So a lot of different sectors that UAE has been investing in and diversifying. And also the most important thing for me is that it's very open because the society is very open where you can eat pork, you can drink alcohol, you can like there's nightclubs. So my experience in the UAE living here is kind of similar to where I live in the UK and also live in Hong Kong. So that's why, and I think that's the reason why it attracts a lot of expats. That makes it 80% of the population in Abu Dhabi are expats. Okay, so that's why from what we're seeing from my perspective, I think there's no reason why not to invest, and that's why I invested back in 2017, and it proven that is a right decision. And now I would say the best timing, because obviously Dubai has been growing extremely fast in the last 2 years, but I would say the best timing now in buying in the UAE is Abu Dhabi, because Abu Dhabi, first of all, is the capital city where it has the most political power, and at the same time, it is the richest. The size of the GDP of the economy of Abu Dhabi is twice the size of Dubai. So the main reason is because 95% of the oil comes from Abu Dhabi. 92% of gas comes from Abu Dhabi, and it made up of 84% of the land of the UAE. So that's why I would say it has the power, it has the money, and now it's only started because how Dubai started in 2002, but Abu Dhabi markets just started 2019 for freehold land for all nationalities. And what happened in 2019? So basically COVID. So literally the market is only started in 2022, 2023. So that's why it's only 2, 3 years old, where we are at the beginning, where we have the chance to buy the prime location of the freehold land. And also we have two explosive trigger in the markets. One of the explosive trigger is tourism, which is in Saudi Island and Yas Island, which is more into a lot of entertainment, especially in Saudi Island now, because it is making one of the biggest cultural district in the world with 6 world-class museums. So now we have 2 have been built, which is including Louvre, Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi Family House. Another 4 is upcoming, including which is the Sai National Museum, the one and only national museum of the UAE. So that's why we are expecting explosion of the markets in Saudi Island and also all around the Abu Dhabi markets. And the second explosive trigger, I would say, is the financial center, because now since 2015 they opened it's called ADGM, Abu Dhabi Global Markets, which is it's called Arim Island, only 15 minutes away from Saudi Island, and it basically attracts a lot of people, company, including one of the biggest hedge fund in the world called Bridgewater, and also like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. They have a lot of plans they have already moved to Abu Dhabi, and they have plans. So that's why we are seeing a lot of high growth of like, you know, population, especially the high income ones, to settle down in the Abu Dhabi, and also the economy is only just started. So and the beautiful thing about ADGM is actually runs common law. So that's why it is very welcoming in terms of international companies like in the US and the UK, the big firms. All right, so that's why we can see the potential here. And so yeah, so this is Abu Dhabi. Why I would say it's the best decision, best timing in investing in Abu Dhabi now. So now let me tell you more about Aldar, because Aldar, we are the biggest developer in the UAE and obviously in the Abu Dhabi as well. And since 2004 until now, we have more than 105 developments all over Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Ras Al Khaimah. So, and especially in 2005, we are already a public listed company. So everything that I say, you can is fully open, transparent, and you can search it on our website. And also the beautiful thing about Aldar is that we are backed by one of the biggest sovereign fund, a wealth fund of the UAE, which is called Mubadala. Mubadala has more than 300 billion US dollar assets. So what's the concept of $300 billion of assets? It's basically our sister company. It's the biggest oil company in the UAE. So that's why we have a very, very strong, shareholder from our bank financially, and also how we get the best plots. Okay, so now let me share my screen so I can give you a better idea on the map and also our project as well. Okay, so now let me show you. So this is our website. This is Wealth Aldar. And also apart from the UAE, we actually go internationally as well. Let's say we recently acquired one of the leading developer in UK called London Square, and we have office in Hong Kong as well. And then we also acquired the second biggest developer in Egypt called Sodic. But obviously today our main topic will be in the UAE. So let's get into it. All right. So now, as I mentioned, we are also the first developer in the UAE who have projects in 3 Emirates, in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, and Ras Al Khaimah, which is we have the first ever casino in the UAE, and it's going to be completing in 2027. And we have projects right on the same island as well. And Dubai is more into communities, in Dubai, villas, etc. But obviously, as I mentioned, I would say the best timing, and also for first-time investors, I would say Abu Dhabi is very, very safe. It's very, very stable. At the same time, it's just started in 2019 and have 2 explosive trigger to go up. And the reason why I'm saying of that is because of the level of development is completely different. We are talking about world class. Everything is branded, and I can't wait to show you Sadia Island. So this one is Abu Dhabi. Actually, let me open on Google Map to give you guys even more clearer idea on the location between like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and the UAE. So here, this is the UAE, and from this part on, 84% of the land is Abu Dhabi. So from Dubai, if you drive, it's around a 1 hour drive, then you reach the city side of the Abu Dhabi. So this one is Abu Dhabi. Okay, and this one is basically the map. Okay, and let me open here. So the one that I really want to show you today is Sadia Island, because Sadia Island, it is perfect. It's the prime location of Abu Dhabi, because if you look over here, first of all, it's very close to work. So this part, you see reflection. So this part is called, this is the ADGM. This is the financial center. So this is basically where the international company are based in, and it's only 50 minutes. And you see this part, this is the main island, which is, what we call the old city center. So this is developed back in the 80s, the 90s. This is where most of the population is based in now. And this is also where the Middle East company are based in, including like the government's like presidential palace is located here. And our sister company, ADNOC, our oil company, is here. And so, yeah, so to work, it's only around 15 minutes as well. And if you want to go for a weekend for entertainment, we also have Yas Island, which is also 15 minutes, where you have like entertainment, like theme parks, you have like events, etc. Okay, so and obviously it's very beautiful location in Abu Dhabi. Everything is convenient, and at the same time, Saudi Island, it has all the premium features, basically designed for high net worth family and individual to live in. So first of all, it has three themes. The first one is the very beautiful beach. So let me show you the 9 kilometers white sand beach. As you can see here, this is called the Soul Beach. This is you can see the color. The color, this is from Google satellite. Like, it's very beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful beach in the UAE, with with very light color and then dark color. It's very nice area. And then at the same time, we have education. We have New York University, which is top 25 university in the world. There's only three in the world, one in New York, one in UAE, Saudi Island, and also in Shanghai. And then we also have Berkeley Music College, which is also top music college in the world. And the most important part, in my opinion, is the cultural district right here. Because as I mentioned, this is the explosive trigger in the market with 6 world-class museums, and 4 is going to be completing later this year and early 2026. So that's why we are very close to how the market will explode. So first two which have been built is Louvre Abu Dhabi. So Louvre Abu Dhabi, to be honest, this is the demonstration on how Abu Dhabi is different level. First, there's only 2 Louvre in the world. One in Paris, which is now under renovation until 2031, and this is the second one. And this shows you how Abu Dhabi has the political power to get the national treasure of the French government. At the same time, it has the money because it costs 1 billion. 1 billion euro just to build the whole Louvre Abu Dhabi. And from the brand name of Louvre, it already cost Abu Dhabi government around 500 million US dollar. So that's why we are talking about this is a world-class level. That's why there's only 2 in the world, because as I mentioned, you have the power and also with the money in order to get this done. And it's already started since 2017, and then it has extended to 2047, and it's going to continue to extend. And this is all the showpiece is from the Paris, the Louvre from Paris. So that's why this is something very meaningful. And also this one is a museum built on the sea. Okay, and the second one, which is also a historical moment, because this is where 3 religions comes together, which is called Abrahamic Family House. So the Abrahamic Family House, basically you have church from Christian, you have Judaism from synagogue, and also Muslim, which is a mosque. So the only thing that's similar to this is Israel. But obviously, Israel now is only comes to peace. But this is the place where 3 religion leader actually come together during 2022 during the opening to sign on a foundation stone to promote religious equality and tolerance. So you can see how open the UAE market is. Especially our president was over there as well to sign. So that's why this is something I would say is very meaningful, and it's a historical moment. And there will be 4 upcoming in 2025, 2026. And we have the first one, which is the core piece of the cultural district, is Science National Museum. This is one and only at the heart of the cultural district at the capital city. Okay, and then because of this, because of the Science National Museum, that's the reason why we have the cultural district, because the head of the tourism and cultural departments has an idea where they want to have the Science National Museum, the National Museum of the UAE, and they think that like only one is kind of like boring, so they want 5 another one to be part of it to make it a cultural district. And the person who have this idea is the chairman of Aldar. So that's why we have obviously we know the plans, we have the best plots. The whole cultural district is owned by us, Aldar, in terms of the plots, and actually the whole Saudi Island is owned by us, Aldar, as well. So that's why we are the master planner. So everything that the different districts, different plans, everything is done by us, including the retail center over here. And then we have Guggenheim. Guggenheim is the fourth one, and this is a very well known for modern art. And there's the fourth one, and this is the biggest Guggenheim in the world. And then we have Natural History Museum, where you have dinosaur showpiece, including the New York stand, a very famous dinosaur. It has a full piece, and also we have the meteor rock from the space. And at last, we have the Teamlet phenomena, which is from Japan. And this is very well known for light show, its technology, different artists, basically to give you an immersive experience. So this is something very meaningful, and you can see that in terms of the brand, it goes globally, including from Asia, from Europe, from New York. Okay, so now we are the government wants to, this is the focal point of where the government wants to develop, and we are the one who develops it. So now, let me show you some projects that we have. The first one that I want to show you is actually Mandarin Oriental branded residence, because this is something that I would say is a signature of Hong Kong. It's an icon of Hong Kong. This is from Hong Kong. And we have the Mandarin Oriental. Not just the hotel. In the hotel, by the way, Mandarin Oriental, this brand in the UAE, especially in Abu Dhabi, is huge, because the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Abu Dhabi is actually, it was it's called Emirates Palace, which is the palace of the royal family before. Obviously, they now moved to a new palace, so that's why now they converted to a hotel, and it is done by Mandarin Oriental. And when we talk about Mandarin Oriental branded residence, in the world, is they only select the prime of the prime location. Like let's say in London is in Mayfair. So that's why here it is located at the most beautiful location, right in front of the Science National Museum. So over here, and you have the fountain view as well. And we actually recently have the launch on the final building. So we still have the chance to have some 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, etc. Okay, so let me show you over here. So this one is some of the units that we have. Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly show you guys, because I want to show you, some of the options that we have. This is not the only one. And, we have 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, and the 1 bedroom is around 104 meters, which is around 1,100 square foot. So it's a huge size. And for the price, it's starting at around 6.5 million dirhams, and is fully furnished. And yeah, so we are expecting a very high cap appreciation. The reason being is because if you look over here, we have actually a project called Mamsha Al Sadia, which is completed over here, over this side. And the price now is around, 1 bedroom is around 6.5 million, the latest one that I heard. And back in 2020, when it's completed, the price was around 1.9 million. So you can see, in kind of like 5 years, the price has tripled. So that's why, especially this one is a branded residence at the prime location. So we're expecting even higher appreciation for here. And then, and also if for the 2 bedrooms, it's starting around 12 million. And the beautiful thing about the 3 bedrooms is that it has the full view of the Science National Museum. So if any of you are interested, we can have that discussed further, in terms of the units, the payment plan, etc. later. And the second second project I want to show you guys is Mamsha Garden. So Mamsha Garden is our Aldar brand. It's located in the Mamsha district, which is the beach side. So this one is Mamsha Garden. So it's around 2 minutes away from Mandarin Oriental and also all the museums. So this one is the second row. The beautiful thing about this one is it's the best for value in the Sadia Island at the moment, because first of all, you are the second row. Once you go downstairs, go to the beach, it's only 2 minutes. It's very close to the beach, but the price is only half the price of Mandarin Oriental and also the front row. So 1 bedroom is starting around 4 million, and 2 bedroom is starting around 7.1 million, and 3 bedrooms we have it from 8 million to 10 million. So this is something that basically 3 bedrooms here is basically even lower than a Mandarin Oriental 2 bedrooms. So this one is, if for anyone of you who is interested in prime location, this is one to go. And the size one bedroom is also at least 1,000 square foot. So that's why this is something that is very good in terms of the price per square foot. And, we're expecting higher appreciation, as I mentioned, because last year in average, the whole island appreciate by 32.4%. Okay, and due to the nature of a higher ticket size, so the rental yield is around 5% here. But obviously, if you buy as early as you buy, the rents goes up, the appreciation goes up, and obviously the rental yields from if we bought back here 1.9 million for one bed, now a one bedroom here is around 250,000 dirhams per year. So that gives you at least 15% rental yield already. So it's all about the timing. And now we are at the prime location here. And again, we have not just one Louvre, we have 6 world-class museums at the same place. Additionally, we have the beautiful beach, which will give you premium by nature. So yeah, so this one is the sign. This is what we call the cultural district inside the island. So this one is the prime location. And if anyone who is interested, on the units, feel free to ask later. And now I want to show you another island, which is, I would say, highly recommendable for the first-time investors. So I highly recommend it because the ticket size is lower and it has the highest rental yield. So in Yas Island, this is basically, as I mentioned, has the highest rental yield, especially for short-term rental. So we're expecting around 10 to 12% for short-term rental and around 7 to 9% in long-term rental yields. And last year, appreciated by 10%. So the reason being is because it's very close to all the tourist hotspots in Abu Dhabi. First of all, it's only 15 minutes away from cultural districts, and the furthest point, which is presidential palace, is only around 35 minutes. And for the Grand Mosque, which is the biggest mosque in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE, it's only around 25 minutes. And the most important thing is only around 11 minutes from the airport, and it's only 15 minutes away from Dubai. This is the closest. This is the island that's closest to Dubai. And at the same time, this is basically where the funds are, where the excitements are, where the events, theme parks, everything is located in Yas Island. So the projects that I want to show you today is Gardenia Bay. So Gardenia Bay, this is located at the prime location in Yas Island. As you can see here, it's only around 4 minutes away from the biggest mall in Abu Dhabi, which is actually owned by Aldar as well, and this is where our headquarters is located in. Because this island is the same as Saudi Island, we own 100% of it. And there's also, and around Yas Mall, I call it the theme parks district, because it has 5, again, world-class, iconic, record-breaking theme parks. First, we have Ferrari Road, one and only, and it has the fastest roller coaster in the world. We have Climb. The Climb is the world's biggest in-flight chamber, and it has the biggest rock climbing facilities in the Middle East. We have Yas Water World. Yas Water World is very well known in the Middle East because it has the Emirati theme. And then we have Warner Brothers World. Again, this is branded, and this is the biggest indoor theme parks in the world. And you have very famous characters like Tom and Jerry, and it's partnering with DC. So it has Superman, Joker, Batman, etc. And the final addition is SeaWorld. So this one is from the US, and it has the biggest marine theme parks in the world as well. So that's why here is basically every single day, every single month, every single year, you have visitors for excitement, theme parks, etc. Then we have limited, I call this district the limited time event district, where we have Yaslink, which is top 35 golf course in the world, where HSBC Championship is hosted, which is part of the Rolex series. And then we have Formula One, and Formula One, this is the biggest event of the whole UAE. So this is the most important one because this is not an ordinary Formula One. This is the final race of the Formula One. So this is like the championship, it's the finale. So every single year, like November, December, it's basically full. And for like studios or for Airbnb or even for hotel, the price goes double, goes triple. So this is the best time of making money when there's huge events. Okay. And let's say a 3-star, 4-star hotel during the event is around 3,000 or 4,000 dirhams. So this is how crazy the market goes. And then at last we have Etihad Arena, where this is basically like this is the biggest arena in the whole region, actually, with more than 18,000 audience capacity. And this is where most of the events start, hosted. Let's say before it has Blackpink, Coldplay recently, we have Ed Sheeran, we have, all the basically all the top singers, celebrities host the event here. And also we have like sports events, let's say UFC, MMA, NBA. So all the, as I mentioned, all the highest level of competition, all the highest level of concerts is located in Hatia Arena, making this island very fresh every single time when you visit here, this new event. So that's why over here, the rental yield we're expecting to turn to 10 to 12%, because even during summertime when it's 40-degree, the occupancy rate here is around 83%. And even in August last year, in 2024, it was 90%. And so you can imagine the time now, even a studio can rent, Airbnb can rent like 500 dirhams. So this is how high the demand is, but obviously the price of the projects here is very, very attractive. And for long term, we have business park here where it has around 10,000 employees, but now we only have around 6,000 ready units here. So that's why over here, even long term, we are expecting 7 to 9%, because one bedrooms in, let's say, Mayan is around 120,000 dirhams per year. So that gives you a very high rental yield. So let's show you Gardenia Bay. So Gardenia Bay, we have actually launched all of the phases and all of the buildings. The reason being is because it is, the hottest one. It is the ideal projects for investment because it is our first wellness projects in Yas Island, and it's called Gardenia Bay because it's very next to the project. It has the parks, and the bay is called because it has the reef farm, it has the canal, and then also it's a very, very high, it's a wellness project. So you have a lot of different amenities, including over here, we have the artificial beach, and then we have like clubhouse where you have cinema, we have a gym, we have kids area, etc. And we have like markets, we have like, canal walking, and then we have like swimming pool, we have gardens all across. And now all the studios and one beds have been fully sold out, but we have some 2 bedrooms, especially some good options for you. So let me just show you one over here. So the units I want to show you is 2 bedrooms. So just to give you an idea on, what we say is a very, very, best, I would say it's the best investments for first-time investors. So here you can see it's around 1,000, almost 1,300 square foot. The design is beautiful. You can see the layout is ensuite bedrooms with powder room, which is, have a full privacy. And then over here, you have a balcony as well. And also the price point is around 2.3 million dirhams for this one. So the price per square foot is around 4,000 Hong Kong dollars. So at the prime location as well. And over here, and the beautiful thing about the price point as well is that it match basically just above the golden visa, the 10 years golden visa, which is 2 million mark. So that's why it's very, very good for investments as well. And 2 bedroom is also a very, very good bedroom type, because whenever you have family, they want 2 bedrooms. So let me show you inside. So we normally comes with fully furnished. It's fully finished, sorry. But for this specific buildings, we have fully furnished. So that's why it's even better for us. So we don't even need to think about the furniture package, etc. So you just need a luggage, then you can move in. And also it has a very relatively open view, and this is the best units that we have at the moment. So yeah, so this one is a 2 bedrooms, and also I want to show you because of the time. I mean, even though I want to show you more, but I want to show you the payment plan. So the payment plan, this is the one that we have for the units that we had. So basically, this one is the unit. So our typical completion date for now is around 2028 because our typical is around 3 to 4 years after the launch. Okay. And our payment plan is 50/50 payment plan. So what does it mean by 50/50? Because in the UAE, or you always hear 50/50, 60/40, 70/30. So 50/50 means you will pay 50% of the price before the handover. And within these 3 years, you actually pay in 6 installment. And in each installment is around 6 to 8 months. And in each installment, you only pay around 10 or 5%. So that gives you a very high flexibility. And let's say if we want to book now. So the only thing that we need to pay first is 50K as a reservation fee because this is for international. And then we have 7 working days to complete the 10% plus 2% ADM fee, which is the registration fee. And then the next installment is already in 2025 in June, and then for another 5%. So that's it for 2025. And 2026, 10% in total, 20%, 2027, 10%, and 2028, 5%. So, in each year, the highest you pay is 10%. So that gives you, and at the end of during handover in the Q4 2024, then you can apply for mortgage. And later I will pass it to Becca to explain a little bit more about the mortgage. Okay. And also, now we're actually running a promotion because now we have a final release. So we have the 2% ADM fee waived. So that is something that we have. And also, one of the reason why I would say UAE has the advantage is the high liquidity, because for us, after paying 30%, you can resell. So if you follow the installment, you basically have until 2026, around October, then you'll reach 35%, and then you'll reach the 30% mark, and you can resell. But any time before, you basically, once you pay 30%, you can resell. Especially now is the time for appreciation because we have just launched the final release. So there will be no other release in the future. So after everything is sold out, then obviously the secondary markets will blow up. So that's why over here now is the best timing and also the final chance. Okay. So yeah, this is basically what we have for what I would say. Obviously, we have more than 20 projects all over UAE, but I would say these 3 projects is the one that I want to share with you guys for today. It's a very beautiful project. So as I give you a very short conclusion. So basically, Saudi Island, this is the prime location in Abu Dhabi, where the explosive triggers is happening, has the highest appreciation. And obviously the ticket size will also be higher. For Yas Island, this is more, I would say, is more for maybe first-time investors, where you have great ticket size. It's very attractive. It's very easy price point, and also it has the highest rental yield as well. And the capital appreciation is also 10%, which is very good. And also we have again very high rental yield. All right. So yeah, thank you very much. So this is my part, and I will pass it to Becca to explain the mortgage part.
Thank you. Okay. Hi everyone. So my name is Becca and I work for SPF Private Clients. We specialise in helping applicants with both UK and, more importantly for today, UAE finance. So today I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of what the finance looks like in the UAE, what the main terms would be, and a little bit about the process as well. So first of all, for non-residents, we are able to access finance for you of up to 60% of the property value. At the moment, the interest rates vary between 4.75 to 5.99. And obviously that depends on the applicant's profile, income, that sort of thing. So once we speak to people to give advice, we'll be able to narrow that down to sort of specific products. The maximum repayment term for UAE finance is 25 years, and that is available on a capital repayment basis. They do set a maximum age there, so that's 65 to 70 years old, depending on which lender we go with. And as Leanne mentioned earlier, obviously a key thing for people looking at investing is the 10-year golden visa. So a way to achieve that is to purchase a property at what is the equivalent of 2 million AED. But you can actually use a mortgage for that. So as part of that 2 million, you could have taken out finance of up to 60%. To obtain the finance, there is no restriction on the passport you hold or the country you live in. So pretty much they'll lend to everyone. And there is no minimum income. You do need to have a minimum of approximately 53,000 Hong Kong dollars or the equivalent in whichever currency your bank account is. So the equivalent of 53,000 Hong Kong dollars as a rolling balance in your bank account for the past 3 months. So just briefly on the process then. So the first thing we would look to do is obtain an agreement in principle. Now this can be done at any time. So if you are looking at purchasing something off plan and beforehand you just want to get some security that you can achieve the finance, we can do an agreement in principle up front. Whilst it is only valid for 30 days, it can be refreshed when we need it to be, which typically would be around 6 months before completion. Now, the agreement in principle for UAE finance is pretty much most of the application process, actually. So it does involve underwriting by the lender. So it really is a very secure stage to get to that you will be able to achieve finance in the UAE. And then 6 months before, we can do a little bit closer to completion, but no earlier than 6 months before, we would look to submit the full application. So we would ask for updated documents, and I will go through what those look like in just a moment. And then as well as the documents, the lender will also do a valuation on the property. Now, the lender will actually open you up a UAE bank account as part of this application process. So for the direct debit for the monthly payments after completion, you will have your bank account set up as well as the mortgage. Once that offer is issued, it is valid for 30 to 60 days. One thing to note with UAE finance is you do need to actually fly to the UAE to sign for the bank account and mortgage. Although given everything that Paco's just said there is to do there, I don't think that's too much of a hardship. And so just finally, in terms of if it is a new build, obviously, as Paco just highlighted, there will be stage payments throughout the build. But then, so you do have to pay cash for those. And then we obtain the mortgage for the remaining balance on handover. Okay, so I just want to run through the fees with you. I know this is no one's favourite part, but unfortunately it is necessary. So to help with the UAE finance, we do charge a broker fee of 7,000 dirhams. The valuation fee, regardless of property value, is 2,625. There are some conveyancing fees there, which are 4,800. And the DLD fee, which is the stamp duty equivalent, depending on where in the UAE you purchase, that is somewhere between 2 to 4% of the purchase price. And then finally, the lenders do charge their own fee, which is typically 1% of the mortgage amount. Okay, so documents required. As I mentioned at the beginning, I also do financed property in the UK, and I have to say the UAE documents are far easier. It is a preference to do UAE finance for the simplicity side of things. So these are the only documents they will typically ask for. They don't go into detail if you have properties outside of the, if you own any other properties anywhere in the world, they don't ask for any information on that or anything like this. They just ask for proof of name, so a scan of your passport, 6 months of your bank statements and pay slips if applicable. If not, we can utilise perhaps your self-employed income. If we're just using savings, we can just utilise the bank statements. Proof of address, so that can be a utility bill, or perhaps you don't have one of those, we can just use a credit card statement. And then the final document there is a credit report in the country that you live. So for example, here in Hong Kong, it would be a TransUnion report. And those are all of the documents that are required. So this one here, I just wanted to go through some sort of myth busters. So these are questions that we get very regularly, and I just wanted to go through sort of what is and is not true. So you do not need a credit footprint in the UAE to obtain mortgage finance. As I just mentioned there, they will ask to see the credit report in the country you live, but you don't have to have any sort of footprint in the UAE already. You do not have to take a Sharia law mortgage in the UAE. So you can have a conventional mortgage arrangement. You don't have to use the Sharia law finance agreement. As I just mentioned, employed or self-employed, either is absolutely fine. We can still obtain finance. And the mortgages are very flexible in the UAE. So you can pay off early, and a lot of banks offer a really large overpayment option, with some being as high as 30% per annum. And even if you do want to overpay more than that, the central bank has actually set a maximum charge that the banks can, a maximum fee that the banks can charge. And that is 1% of the remaining balance up to 10,500 dirhams. So it's far more reasonable than other locations if you do want to repay early. Perhaps you've decided to sell, or you just want to pay off the debt. That maximum fee would be 10,500. You can refinance and release equity in order to buy a subsequent property. One thing to note, though, is that subsequent property would need to be in the UAE. So it would be a further investment in the UAE. And again, the finance is very, very flexible. You can use the property for both investment and self-use, or a mix. It's very, very sort of down to you and your choice as to what you want to do with the property. The UAE finance arrangements are not prescriptive on that at all. Okay, so finally, I just wanted to give you some case studies and some examples. So this first one here, so this would be a purchase price of 2 million dirhams. It would be a long-term let for this one. That was the plan. And the projected rental income is 12,500 dirhams per month, which works out to be a 7.5% yield. This particular client did have an income of 600,000 Hong Kong dollars a year. We were able to get them the full 60% loan to value, which equaled 1.2 dirhams there. And for this product, we ended up on a 3-year fixed at 5.99, and we went for the maximum term capital repayment over 25 years. This gave a mortgage payment of 7,724 dirhams. There are some other charges, so a service charge for this particular property, which was 1,696. But even with a 60% mortgage, the client still has a positive monthly cash flow of 3,080 dirhams per month. And they've purchased a property at 2 million, which means they are eligible for that 10-year golden visa. Okay, so the second, actually, I think there's been a slight duplication there. I think there's just one example on this slide. It looks like some of the figures haven't been changed. I do apologise. So I'll just give one example for now. But of course, after the call, if you want me to go through any more examples one-on-one, please do feel free. I apologise for that slight error there. I'm going to pass back to Mina now so that we can do some Q&As. And of course, if there are any on the mortgages, happy to help.
Thank you, Becca. And we have been receiving some of the questions, and I believe that some of you might be interested to know the answer as well. So the first question that I get here is, who will be my lettings and manager as investor while I'm not there? Maybe I can ask our head of UAE, Leanne, can give us the answer about that. Well, okay, it's okay. Actually, I know the question as well. So, as a market expert on the ground, we work with the trusted partner across the UAE, which will help you to find a tenant and manage while you're not there. And typically, the building management company will handle all the repairs for you. And then the second question that we have here is, they were asking what is the projected appreciation? And wow, to be honest, it will depend on the area. And if it's a master community, typically by handover, you can expect like 30% plus. And it also depends on if you bought into something at pre-launch stage or after pre-launch stage and which phase. And be happy to share some examples with you. And some communities and developers, they have seen sustainable appreciations. So just feel free to book the private session with our consultants, and we will give you some more information about that as well. Okay, the next question that I can see here, what is my monthly outgoing? For example, the lettings and management fee. So actually for the lettings and management fee is covered by tenant, and typically 5% of the yearly rent if the rent is above like 100K AED, or if it's below 5,000 AED. And also we have a question about the golden visa. So we have an audience ask about the 10-year golden visa is applied for the entire family. So yes, it's applied to all your family, 3 generations, and also you can have 2 driver and 1 helper to live with you. And then for the next one, for the buying process, do I need a solicitor to help? So actually in UAE, you don't need a solicitor for the purchase. And the next one is, do I have to fly there for handover, and who can help? So basically, if you as a cash buyer, you don't need to be in the country to handover. Since as I have been mentioned, Benham Reeves, we have an office in Dubai, so we can help you for all the process. And as mentioned by Becca, if you are going to have a mortgage, the bank will require you to fly there to sign the mortgage offer. Okay, and the last question is, do I need to buy furniture when doing the long let? Actually, it's not necessary for you to buy a furniture, but if you would like to get a higher rent, of course, you can purchase the furniture. And the next one, I think we have a question for mortgage. So, hi, Becca, I have a question for you.
Of course.
So, do I need to open an UAE account when paying the mortgage and receiving the rental?
Yes, you will, but the bank will open that as part of the application. So it's not something you need to go away and find or do yourself separately. It will all be done by us and by the bank as part of the same application process.
Okay. And the next one is also about the mortgage as well. It's a little bit long. So the loan amount is up to 60%, as you mentioned, but it's only disbursed on the completion, right? And we understand that the developer will be request more than 40% deposit. For example, the Gardenia Bay, the developer is required 50% of the deposit during the construction period before completion. So will I still get the maximum loan of 60% in this instance? And how would they handle the disbursement in this case?
Yeah. So unfortunately for non-residents, it would be capped at the amount outstanding. So if you had paid 50%, as Paco went through there, then the mortgage would be capped at 50%. If you are a UAE resident, we can get the extra 10% back, and it would be dispersed into your bank account on handover. But unfortunately, that is at the moment, things could change, but at the moment, that is only available to residents in the UAE.
Okay. And I believe that we have a question about the Gardenia Bay, about the... Hi, Paco, are you here?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So can you please share how much is the service charge and ground rent for a 2-bedroom?
Yeah, so the service charge will be around 15.7 dirhams per square foot per year. Yeah.
And since the property is a freehold, so we assume that there's no ground rent, right?
No ground rents, no freehold is yours. It's very nice. And also within the management, the fee, it will covers like the lifts, amenities, etc. And also within 1 year, which is showing on the sales offer as well, we have 1 year warranty. So anything happen in the property within 1 year, we can fix it for free. It's included.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And one more question for you. I think it's more about the supply of the units. Would there be an oversupply of the unit when the completion arrives in 2027 to 2028?
So let me share my screen so you have a better idea. So the answer is no, because especially in Abu Dhabi, because as you can see, Abu Dhabi own 90 to 95% of the market share. We have the master planner of Saudi Island, Yas Island, so we have the best plot. And now let me share my screen because I want to give you the visual. Okay. So can you see my screen now? Is it sharing?
Yep.
Yeah. So let me show you first about Yas Island because I think I can see that a lot of interest is in Yas Island. So first of all, if you look over here, all of the white shaded parts are our project since 2021. And if you look over here, this is our initial first projects. This is called West Yas. All of them are villas. And in that huge space, there's only around 1,014 units. So, and one big community, it would take 3 to 4 years time to go to get one. So in this case, maybe in 1 year time, in each year, there will be around only like 2,000 to 3,000 units, coming out. So that's why this is how limited it is. Actually, in Abu Dhabi, it's very undersupplied. Yeah. So, and especially if you look over here, this is townhouses, villas, townhouses, villas, townhouses, villas, community. All of them is townhouses and villas communities, except Samayas. Samayas is apartments. And for our signature, let's look into Gardenia Bay. So Gardenia Bay, you can see everything is low rise, low density. So this is kind of the signature of our Aldar community because in let's say one building, let's say the one that I show you is Alloy, you can see there's only 122 units and there's only 9 floor and nothing is higher than 10 floor. So it's G plus 5 to G plus 10. So that's why in total, even though it looks like there's 23 buildings, but in total there's only around 2,000 units and it comes with 2 phases. And in each phases, there's only around this one is 1,500 and this one is 1,000. So that's why over here, as I mentioned, the demand is going very, very high, but it's actually the supply is very, very low. So that's why we can see that a 1 bedrooms over here, Mayan, there's only around 1 bedroom is around 120,000 dirhams, which is around 22K Hong Kong dollar per month. So you can see how high the rental demand is. And especially, let me show you Saudi Island as well. So especially Saudi Island over this, actually, let me go on the whole map. Over here, we have few districts. So this one is like beach resort district. Again, this is a villa. Saudi Lagoon, this all are villas and there's only 1,500 available here. I mean, this villas is sold out now. And over here, Sadia, which is the highest density in Saudi Island, everything again, it's nothing over G plus 10. So that's why, every single piece is a kind of like a collection. This is what we call trophy assets because now the whole Abu Dhabi does not have studios and 1 bedrooms. So this is how crazy the market goes. Like even now, if you want a studio 1 bed, sorry, maybe you need to wait for the next release because there's nothing available. Yeah, and we have a lot of waiting lists as well. So that's why over here is more into like biggest unit size, or we have availability when it's very close to. I mean, just after the launch. So that's why Mandarin Oriental we have 1 bedrooms, but the rest, like let's say Memtra Garden, we don't have. But we have new buildings coming up. So I hope this give you a good explanation on supply and demand in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, sure. And just one more question about the Gardenia Bay. So what are the amenities that you are offering?
Of course. So when we talk about amenities, as I mentioned, it's a wellness project. So there will be, it's a medium-sized community. So if we look over here, first of all, you will have a massive park. It's one of the biggest park in Yas Island. Just, just like 2 minutes opposite to the projects. And also within the community, we have, as I mentioned, we have the artificial beach. Since I think, let me go into it as well. So you can see this is the artificial beach only for the residents, and also you have an infinity pool looking into the canal. And over here, this is the clubhouse where you have like cinema. Let me show you. It's just now, because of limited time, I went through it very quickly, but let me show you now. So we have like cinema, we have gym, especially the gym is massive, you can see. And also this is a natural style that we want to do because we want to promote the physical and mental health. So that's why the design, it will be nature orientated. And we have kids playing area, and we have social kitchen where you can invite your friends over here, spa, etc. And also, other than this indoor clubhouse and also artificial beach, we also have markets. So over here, you can enjoy your coffee. You have groceries, basically the basic amenities or services you could get from here. And if you want to do like shopping, it's only 4 to 5 minutes away from here, which is the biggest mall in Abu Dhabi, which is Yas Mall. And also in each building, we have gardens are full of greenery. And I really want to show you the canal lifestyle as well. So over here, you can see, yeah, it's a very beautiful canal walk. And then you can see a lot of greenery. And the reason why this is very lacking in the whole Abu Dhabi, because only big developers can do communities. First, they need to have the plot. Second, trees are expensive. Greeneries are it's not cheap in the UAE. So that's why only the big developers like Aldar have it. So that's why if we look in the let's look at the Google map, which is the situation in Abu Dhabi. This part is the main island. And if you look into it, everything is like kind of similar to Hong Kong or like, the old city center where everything is like high density, high rise. That once you go downstairs, that is the road. But this is not people want. People wants to go downstairs for the children's. You can have playing area. It's a gated community. You have the canal walk. You have the community center, and also you have like 2 additional outdoor swimming pool on each side. And also we have a Gardenia Bay courts where you can enjoy outdoor sports activity as well.
Thank you. So we actually have few clients asking if there's a villas or townhouse available here.
In Abu Dhabi. So
Uh,
actually, I know the answer because in Abu Dhabi now we have 0 townhouses and villas, and in Saudi Island, in Yas Island, in even here we have a project called Reman, which is 15 minutes away from Yas Island. It's still fully sold out. However, we're gonna have a very strong pipeline coming up in the following weeks because we actually have a Fahad Island over here. Fahad Island is basically between Yas Island and Saudi Island. The whole island is owned by us, Aldar. So let me show you on Google Map to give you, to show you. So this one is called Fahad Island. So Fahad Island, this part will be all villas and townhouses community. And this is expecting to be coming out in the middle of this year. So there will be definitely going to be villas and townhouse going to be coming up soon. But at the moment, no.
Okay, thank you. So maybe if you're interested in those villas or townhouse, you can register with us first. And then once we have the details from the developer, we will release all the information with you, and then you can get the first patch to pick your ideal home. And let's go for the final question for Becca. So I have another one about the mortgage as well.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have someone asking, are you only offer the mortgage for new build?
No, we can do them for existing properties already, not as well, sorry, I should say, not just for new builds.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. And I believe it's all about everything for today. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you Paco, Leanne, and also Becca as our guest speaker. So if you are planning to visit UAE, whatever, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, just let us know. Leanne and her team is on the ground, and we are always very happy to help you to property viewing or personalized trip. Just let us know. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.